Good morning, everybody. I am so excited for today. Today is a Sunday, so it's like a little Sunday reset, except we are doing task for the house. Welcome back, very famous and well-loved Homeowner Diaries. Now, it's gonna be the first episode that I try something a little bit new with the format. I thought it would be nice to show progressive updates instead of one big update, because if we waited for one big update, you guys wanna see a Homeowner Diaries literally till like the fall, and that's just not realistic. I have a few pieces of furniture that I have to pick up today, build today. I have to clean out some areas, organize some things, and I was like, you know what? Let's bring the girls. That's what we're gonna be doing today. It's my first strawberry matcha of the season. This is with the Yame First Harvest matcha from Nami, so let's give it a try. Bangs. This bangs. I recently was gifted this super duper cute green little crossbody bag from Uniqlo, and I thought this would be such a cute little accessory for today. I need to limit what I bring with me to things like this because I will bring everything, and that's not necessarily the best thing for me or my back or my pocket. So wallet, of course, I need my ID, my topicals, and then I'm not even gonna bring my headphones, I fear. That's definitely a choice. Okay, you guys love the Pink Pilates Princess video, so guess what I brought back? The bow is back. Yes, it is. As much as I try to act like I don't like bows and I feel like I'm too old for them, baby, the bow is always going to be a signature look. Also, I got a little wristlet for my DJI finally. I have one for my Canon G7X as well. I got it like 2 weeks ago, and I've been loving it. It's just so cute. And it's a chill day because, like, sorry if people still count this as TMI, but I started my period today, and instead of sulking and being sad about it, I want to be proactive and actually do something on it, because that kind of sets the tone for my personal rest of the month. So that's what today's gonna hold. Look like a homeowner? Am I giving millennial? Hope not. God, I hope not. I decided on the way over here that I'm gonna wait till I have help to go and pick up my outdoor seating, and it's not like it's the most complicated thing in the world. I just don't want to get there and then have the employees bring it out and then I'm basically useless to them. I'd rather be useless to somebody I know instead of a complete stranger. So I'm gonna head home, and Nia's heading to my house right now because she's actually gonna help me start decluttering the bonus room that I was talking about earlier. I wanted to go ahead and get over there and start putting that stuff up or start getting that stuff cleared out the room because the rug comes today. We're gonna head home. I did get the things that I really needed to get like immediately today, so I'm feeling pretty good. Good way to start the day. Hey there, Delilah. What? Don't piss me off. Where's Delilah? We're in the dungeon. It looks horrible in here. Mind you, I have my furniture in here just sitting surrounded by trash. Well, not trash. Stuff that I was supposed to get rid of last spring, and Nia's here to help me gradually move this into the hallway. We're not doing much but moving this into the hallway. My significant other can come and get it for me and take it to Goodwill for me, because I don't know who he thought was about to be walking just up and down the steps. 3 flights of steps. Yeah. 4 flights technically. And to the Goodwill. I'm not doing all that. So we have to get this moving, and I'm so excited. I'm so ready for all this shit to be gone. I'm gonna move this out the way.
So all this is Goodwill.
Oh, yeah, that whole box. Who peed in
it? Yeah, keep the snow globes. You know I'm a snow globe.
The piss yellow stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. None of mine ever did that.
It started to look a little better. I see floor.
Can you give me
the
a
lighting
BBL?
in here is tea. Body shape like a Coke bottle. Wow. Doesn't it feel so much bigger? It does. everything is a yes. Everything is an immediate yes. I have had this room be a basically landfill since I moved in here and just put stuff in here that I don't really use. And we finally got rid of everything and I decided to get this cute little 2-seater couch. I am filming in here for my future podcast. This half the room feels done and then you turn around to the other wall and it's like, ooh. This couch is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a 50-something inch couch. I'll insert what the information is and then I'll link it down below as well. And the lamp is also from Wayfair. I'm super excited to have a little hobby bonus room space where I can indulge in things and kind of unplug. In a sense, it looks so much better in person than it does on my little Canva thing that I did over the past couple weeks. And it's so gorgeous. I'm so in love with it. And yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Here. So I did a thing. Did end up going to World Market for everything that I needed, but I found some pieces that I thought were just too good not to buy. So I did what I do best. Spent my money and bought some things I didn't necessarily plan on, but we are. So let's unbox and give a haul. First thing, I've been eyeing this painting for weeks from World Market. It's very vintage, antique vibes. And then considering I'm going with gold, thought the frame would go so nice with my little golden brassy accents in here. I don't know if it would go above the couch. I have my command strips because y'all know I don't play with nails. I hate playing with nails. I feel like it's the perfect size for this wall almost. We'll see how I feel about it. I got a lamp. I didn't plan on getting a lamp at all today. Very matchy-matchy with the couch. I don't know if it's gonna sit next to the couch. I did order a bookshelf as well today from a different World Market. It's the same color scheme as this entire little thing over here to break up color and things like that. I don't know if it's gonna go right next, like I said before, because I got a side table, which is this, put right over there, which I will show you right now, actually. Oh, that was a good deadlift. Look at this beauty. Tell me this isn't the prettiest side table you've ever seen. What? It's gonna go right over here. Oh my gosh, it feels so complete. What? We went to World Market to originally get my patio seating, which I wanted to pick up today, not necessarily put up, but pick up. I had to get left at the store because my significant other and I could not both fit in my car with the box. Surprise, surprise. So he brought it back for me because it was 100 pounds. There's no way I could have unloaded that at home by myself. So he left me there and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna frolic. As girls do. I feel like I should talk a little bit more about my, not design process. I'm not an interior designer by any means. I just know what I like and I know how to make furniture not look too matchy or crazy, even though I literally just got a lamp that looks exactly like this whole wall right here. A lot of people ask me how I found my design style. It's really trial and error. I was going through my liked items because I moved into my first apartment when I was 18 because I was going to school. And literally all the items were white and gray. I feel like when you're finding your style for like design and things, you kind of have to play with items to figure out what you do and don't like. I do use Canva for mapping out things, and then Pinterest is my best friend. I definitely have like a certain feeling that I want, and there's definitely a certain style. Like for example, my overall house board looks like this, and then I have like sections in my Pinterest board that look like different places, so like the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, the office, and things like that. Not everything is gonna be like that to a T. I think Pinterest is a tool to suggest and find out items you like and what you do like instead of copying it, and that's why I feel like a lot of people do copy what's on Pinterest, and that's fine. It's better to mix and match and find certain things about photos or inspo that you do like. So for example, I really like wood, right? So in a lot of my photos, I have different types of wood. Okay, I like the room, but the wood is what really called me to that. Or for example, in the kitchen, I love a tile. I love a, is it rattan seat? I like how the seat looks with the table. I like the table style, or I like the paint. I like the wood style. And just kind of picking out what I like to kind of string together items that I like and mushing them together based on a feeling. Sometimes people have definite styles like I do when it comes to that, and some people just have certain vibes they like when it comes to certain furniture. Pretty much it. Trial error, go on Pinterest, take inspo, don't copy. And Canva's your friend. Canva's always gonna be your friend. No way to build a better habit or have a habit be built that you want to be built than have it make your life easier. Like, for example, if you have pollen allergies, I'm usually horrible at taking my vitamins every morning. I have to physically have a reminder on my phone. But when it comes to them allergies, and I know I'll be sniffing a season every time I take Cashew out on a walk in the morning, oh, trust I'm taking that Zyrtec and that Flonase without any doubt. Like, without a doubt. I don't think I've missed allergy things since the mid-March point. And I'm being so for real. I really went into today with the intention of going to get my new bookshelf, going to IKEA, running some errands, and just getting a few more decor pieces. And then I checked the weather and it said it was going to rain. And it's not any type of rain. It's like a rain that's constant and hard and all day. I literally don't think it's gonna stop raining until about midnight tonight. I don't know where y'all stay at, but where I stay, places don't be up until midnight. Instead of me ripping and running throughout this house today, I decided it would be a good time to go ahead and do nothing in my home. I feel like you guys don't ever see me enjoy my house because I'm always on the move, but considering the weather, how it sounds, how it feels outside, it's just one of those days where I cannot bring myself to do much of anything, and not in like a depressive episode type of way, but more of a it's chill outside, I want to be inside, I want to enjoy my home. I watched for the first time Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind last night because I was talking to my friends about it, and he watched it a few days ago and gave it a 5 out of 5 star, and he's a real movie head, so I was like, okay. So I watched it. I gave the movie like 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. Kickstarted this thing where I began to realize that picking movies and watching them aren't hard. I am one of those people who don't watch a bunch of new things very frequently just because there's so many options. It overwhelms me. That's why I thrive in places like Trader Joe's, because it eliminates the illusion of choice, because when you have too many choices, it gets really overwhelming to pick one and go with it. So when you go to Trader Joe's, there's literally like 5 things you could choose from, certain like categories like meats or like frozen dinners and stuff like that. But when you have millions and millions of shows, movies that you could watch, it's just like, even with my watch list, I don't like my watch list getting too long because I get overwhelmed with choice. Like, it's just too much. Me finally watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind has been something I've been wanting to watch for a year now. It's one of those movies that are like Inception to me. You might not get it the first time, but the second time, you're gonna hear it and be like, whoa. What is this? Thoroughly enjoyed it. Jim Carrey, of course, just did a phenomenal job in his role as Joel. I love the cinematography. I love the use of lighting. It feels very like documentary style, and I love movies that just make you think and ponder on like, if you were in the situation, what would you do? I gave it like a 4 star. If you ever want to see my Letterboxd, which I don't update frequently, but I want to start working on updating frequently when I actually watch stuff, follow me on Letterboxd. I have it linked in my link tree, so you guys can find it there. It's just aliyah Simone. I have my ice cream. I'm on my couch. I'm actually about to, I think, watch Pearl. I want to watch Pearl, Maxine, and X, just because I know all of those happen within the same universe, or like they're the same timeline, and I hear Mia Goth is a phenomenal actress, so I think I'm gonna watch Pearl with Cashew. Very interesting choice, I know, but bear with me, he doesn't know what's going on, so I promise he's okay. It's that time of week where my factor meals came in, so I want to show you what I got this week and what I'll be indulging in for the next 7 days. This week's factor box, I usually get 10 meals, so 5 lunches, 5 dinners, depending on the day if I'm hungry. I'm on my period, so I probably won't go through these foods as quickly, but I did cash in my 2 little freebies this week. I got 2 of these little peanut butter bites, oatmeal raisin peanut butter bites. As a young homeowner, I feel like a lot of people stress about what they're going to eat, because me personally, owning a house, the hardest part is not necessarily picking out the furniture, picking out a paint color, picking out a material, just designing the space or paying for it. It's what I'm going to eat in said house. As y'all know, I have had a very interesting relationship with services such as DoorDash and just bad habits such as eating out almost every day for 2 to 3 meals a day. So I definitely play around with my food intake, and I thought I should include this to show you what I'm doing, at least right now for the time being, for my meals, because I said this in another video, but cooking just hasn't been my favorite thing. I feel like cooking has been more of a burden to me recently than something I enjoy, which is what it was at a point. I love how I don't really have to think about what I want. I just pick out my 10 things, which takes a total of like 2 minutes, and I literally get it to my doorstep. No grocery shopping, no cooking, no cleaning, no dragging bags upstairs. So right now, this is what your girl is doing. Really long-winded explanation to say, I'm gonna show you what I got this week. I didn't get a really big diversity of food this week just because I feel like I've been spinning the block on stuff I like already. I got 2 of these smoked Gouda and bacon shredded chicken hash with roasted green beans and pearl onions. I got these last week and they were actually really freaking good. This has been my favorite factor meal that I've ever got, which is why I got 3 this week. This is the shredded chicken and spinach pesto tortellini. When I tell you, I've never had tortellini until I had a factor box. I personally have just never had the noodle. It's never like one of my first things to be like, oh, I'm gonna get that and learn how to make it. No, but I tried this tortellini and I've been thinking about it ever since. This stuff is so freaking good. I love that one. I'm probably gonna have one of those for dinner tonight. Let's go over some new things, shall we? This is my first time getting this. This is the shredded chicken taco bowl with roasted corn salsa and cilantro sour cream. I'm one of those people who has cilantro gene where I can actually eat cilantro and enjoy it. Not saying I'm better than anybody, but if you can't eat cilantro because it tastes like soap, I'm so sorry for you. Another new thing, this is a Parmesan and garlic cream shredded beef with herb, roasted potatoes, and buttered broccoli, and this one has 30 grams of protein. Also, this is something I decided to spend the block on. This is a chorizo and black bean queso fundido with Mexican seasoned rice and roasted peppers. This is actually really good. This tray is 33 grams of protein, and I had this for the first time this week, so me getting this the second time the week after without having tried it yet is absolutely nuts. But when I did eat it these past couple days, I actually really did like it. And no, it does not make my stomach hurt despite the queso in it. I got 2 of these unstuffed sausage and spinach ricotta shells with garlicky green beans, red bell peppers, and Parmesan butter. I have some things that I'm familiar with and then some new things, and I figured that's the best way for me to personally do these boxes, so I can dip my toe in new stuff. And if I'm not like the biggest fan, I pick stuff based on if I think I'll like it, and if I don't necessarily like it, am I gonna be able to finish it, because I would hate to waste any of this. So that's personally how I pick. And then yeah, so that's my 10 boxes for this week. Even better news than our lunches and dinners getting here this week, I actually got my rug in the mail. Let's go put it upstairs. At this point in time, all the furniture that I've bought for this room is built. I bought a little lift-off coffee table from Wayfair today because this is gonna be my hobby podcast room, so I obviously want storage. It has a little bit more structure that I can do those things, so I plan to organize my podcast stuff in there when the time comes. And then I think tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that bookshelf that I mentioned from World Market, because I did order it yesterday and it's ready, but I didn't want to go because it was raining. But now I'm currently having this dilemma of, do I want to go to IKEA right now and of course get a little bit of boba and stroll around and get some light bulbs that, 1, I've been needing for the house, and 2, to replace this one that I have in the gold lamp in here, because I pulled a light bulb out of a different room and put it in here just to see what it looked like, and it's like a bright stark white. Like it's horrible. Like it literally feels like a hospital in here. After after successfully finding my light bulbs at IKEA, I decided to start the following day off with one of my favorite breakfast sandwiches from Bruegger's, a good old farmhouse sandwich, because we had a journey ahead of us. Today is the day I decided to go get my new like walnut color bookshelf, and I couldn't do that on an empty stomach. I mean, let's get into the material. So after breakfast, I decided to go to World Market. Of course, I brought significant other because, yeah, who was bringing that box back, so it couldn't fit in my car. So after a little bit of fidgeting, he fit it in his car and we made it home safely to put it together. Bookcase! We have Bookcase! I'd also like to say it's not staying right here because, that is gonna go, and I'm gonna move this over there where the suitcases and the chest is. It's so cute. Look at this bookshelf. Not bookcase. Bookshelf. Look at this bookshelf. It's so cute. It's so perfect. As you can see, it's a disaster already, but we will fix that another day. Welcome to the completed room. Well, it's not complete, but it's just a little taste of the pod that is coming. Get used to it because this is exactly what the setup's gonna be like. I made my morning matcha and I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions about my interior design style, because I feel like as somebody who's in their 20s, I share my life with y'all, not only to share it, but to show you I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm gonna answer a few questions that you guys had for me in regards to interior design. Also, my matcha is heaven sent today. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, you definitely 100% should. Thank you for sending me these questions, by the way. Our first question is from Jalacia. I was asked, do you have an interior designer or do you come up with all your own ideas? I am so flattered that you think I hire an interior designer for all my shenanigans that happens in this house. Everything happens up here in this itty bitty non-fully developed 20 to 22-year-old brain. I'm gonna be 23 next month. How do you get inspiration for your home decor / home arrangement? Like I will say 10,000 times, Pinterest is my best friend. So that's what I do for home decor. But when it comes to home arrangement, what comes for my inspiration for how I arrange my home is functionality first and foremost, and then looks after. I feel like arrangement is something you have to play around with. And I know a bunch of y'all be moving your rooms around at like 2 a.m. What's your favorite space in your home and how does it reflect your personal style? I think to this day, it's been a year since my room has been like fully done, and to this day I have not changed anything about my room because it's perfect. I think it reflects me on such a good level. I think it's the most complete, it's the most me. I definitely think I dress how my house is, very chill, laid back, earthy. I think that's my like personal fashion style, so I think it's similar in that way, literally down to like the color scheme in my room. That's mainly the colors I wear and enjoy wearing and looking at. This is actually a really good question. Best places to shop for interior decor on a budget. A lot of people think budget is like under $100, and if you're saying like budget like you got $50 in a dream, Facebook Marketplace is gonna be your best friend. But if you're a little bit more flexible, as you can see, I have been writing and basically dying with Wayfair and IKEA. And if you have a little bit more budget, I love World Market. I think those are my big three. Color matching and useful but decorative furnishings, i.e. bookshelves, accent tables, etc. Best thing for when it comes to color matching is figuring out what is your main tone going to be. So for example, in this room, we have some warm tones. So we have like the warm orange, we have the warm wood, like the walnut color. And I feel like based off of this, once you kind of figure out your tone of the room, you can start shopping for that, because I feel like a lot of people ignore tone when it comes to fashion, home decor, everything like that, and it's actually really important because it really sets the mood and a vibe. If you ever wonder why a hospital feels cold, they always have whites, silvers, like blues, maybe like a mint green. Those are all cool tone colors. But say you go to like a library or like an old bookstore, they probably have like warm woods, like burnt oranges, probably like rich browns, maybe even some yellows and maybe some burgundies. Those are all warm colors. But yeah, when it comes to color matching, just stick to that tone, baby. I wanted to get this little like wire shelf from IKEA actually to put in here, but I was like, this room is so warm, why would I get a silver shelf? And I'm not saying that cool tones can't be inviting and like warm tones can't be sterile, but you know, it's definitely like, you know, you pick it up and down. Do you prefer getting everything at once or taking time to find the perfect thing? I feel like it depends on the space, because I feel like a lot of the times I get super lucky when it comes to home stuff, because I actually went into this, I had only bought the couch and the chair. That's what I came in with starting this video. That's what I knew what I had. So over the course of 3 days, I had just found the perfect things for it. When it comes to stuff like a bigger space such as a living room, I'm going to take my time every single time. That stuff is more expensive, it's bigger. I kind of don't want to rebuy something in 6 months because I know I'm not going to buy it, so I will take my time with that kind of thing. But I definitely think it just depends on the space. Like for example, I definitely think I rushed my office when I moved in here, and now I can't stand it. When you rush, you're not going to pick like the best option, and you're just kind of doing what's going to be there for right now when you'll probably regret it a little bit later. How do you make sure you're not overcrowding your space? Buying a few things at a time and measuring and actually having a piece of furniture in a room is never going to be the same thing. Of course, I measure before I buy anything because I need to know if it's going to fit, but just because something fits doesn't mean it's not going to feel overcrowded. When it comes to overcrowding, I think you should add one furniture piece at a time, and that's why I think this room is a prime example. Like I knew how long the couch was, but I didn't see the couch in the space, right? So after I saw the couch in the space, I was like, okay, I have a little bit of wiggle room. Like I could fit something here, fit something here. And I was at the point where I wanted to get a little console table for that wall over there. Decided against it because I was like, that's a lot of surfaces between like a coffee table and a bookshelf and a console table. Like that's kind of a lot of flat surfaces going on. So I think it's something you just have to do over time. And I would say my best tip for this is just gradually get into it and be like, okay, does this feel cozy? Does something feel missing? What made you love mid-century modern? According to Pinterest, I think they said that my like design style is retro. And honestly, that checks out. I'm a vintage girl through and through. I love old looking things that have character. When I think of like retro, I think of things that have character. So I would definitely say I mix retro and mid-century modern. I feel like mid-century is one of the best design styles just because it's so timeless. I feel like it's a good balance of modern but with personality, because when we hear modern, it's like the sterile colors, sleek lines and everything like that, but then you add pops of like vintage looking items and colors, and then all of a sudden like a really boring modern sterile room has so much character and fun things to it. So that's personally why it's my favorite. Somebody actually asked me a really interesting question. They asked me, would you ever consider all black with touches of color? I don't know why, but this is so like man moving into their first apartment for the first time. I feel like every man has like all black furniture, and then they have like the red or blue sheets, and then of course like the plaid comforter. I personally could not do that. I like color in my life. If anything, I would rather do all colorful things with black accents, which is actually what I'm doing in my house because I love black. It's one of my favorite colors. Black is to like make everything feel a little bit more cohesive, but yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. Where do you find some of your kitchen appliances and gadgets for a good deal? Stop sleeping on department stores. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Macy's is that girl. Macy's, I don't know if you're seeing this. My mom and I love you so bad. Always have good sales. And even outside of kitchen appliances, if you're looking for like sheets, any type of bedding, towels for the bathroom, or any home stuff, period, I love getting stuff for a good deal at Macy's. Don't sleep. All right, let's go to my spam. Let's see what the girls on the spammy were asking me. How do you find the perfect lighting? Just in general too. Turn them overhead lights off. And smart bulbs are going to be your friend. I know everybody says it. Not everybody needs the $200 Philips Hue set. If you have an IKEA or are willing to buy from IKEA, I actually really like the light bulbs from IKEA. Just add it gradually, and if you notice there's like a dull space you want to light up, add a little lamp. Do you have any recommendations for cute decor that is also functional? I bought a lift-off coffee table, so that's good. I also love a bookshelf. I don't know if y'all realize how much storage I actually have in my house due to bookshelves and shelving. I have bookshelves everywhere. They store knickknacks, they store books, of course. If you're really smart, you can even store your clothes if you can fold them real good. Downstairs, I have like this, originally a buffet table for a dining room, but I use it as a media console and like media table in my living room. And I store all my living room and hosting stuff in there. So like my games, my card games, my Wii, my Nintendo Switch, my PlayStation is gonna get put down there soon. I think media consoles and bookshelves are gonna be your best friend. It's just picking the right vibe that you want and knowing the design style that you like. That's gonna be the hardest part. But once you kind of figure that out, it's pretty easy to pick from there. How do you deal with moods of complete rebrand after styling already? I have never wanted to like completely rebrand after styling something because I feel like I genuinely take my time, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but the office situation, I rushed that, and now I have to pay the consequence of paying money to fix that mistake of me rushing. So I don't think I deal with those moods of like wanting to redo everything because I'm so like happy with how my house is turning out. How do you get out of the boring beige without making the space feel cluttered? Getting out of boring beige and into a different style, beige baddie is what we call it over here. It's like when people think color, they think of chaos. Color doesn't necessarily equate to clutter. decor does. All you're doing is switching your color. Like, instead of boring beige, pick terracotta and style things the same way, just like same amount of things, just in a different color. So when you're decorating, just replace what you have one piece at a time. How do you decide what will be your statement pieces? When I get my apartment, I want a piece that will catch people's eyes and start conversations. I think you have to pick things that are true to you. I think you really just have to go bold with one thing and kind of dial it back in other places. I think picking things that complement your statement piece is gonna be the best thing to do, because as I'm planning to get a green couch, I have things around it that don't take the attention away from it. So that is like the biggest thing people of course see, because it's a couch, but also it's the main thing because nothing else is stealing that attention from it, you know? Is your house closer to the maximalist or minimalist style? I definitely am not a minimalist, but I also am not a maximalist, because one thing I'm gonna do is throw something out or give something away if I feel like there's too much in one space. I just feel like I found a really sweet middle for that doesn't feel like clutter. Everything kind of has an intention in my house, and that's how I avoid having too much in it. How do you think colors come into play? Like, what colors look the best together? Do you have a set of colors per room, or is it the same throughout the house? I'm gonna insert this little palette that I found on Pinterest, which is like my general palette for my house. I always like to think of what colors bring me comfort. I spend all day basically in my house, and I like everything to be very cohesive, and that's just coming from a point of I know what I like, but I definitely think colors bring on certain emotions. I definitely like to pick a few calmer colors to balance out the more bold colors. How do you know what you want to do? You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it, okay? If you get something you don't feel right, return it. Don't be afraid to return something, please. How do you give a room character? Instead of it looking like I just put furniture piece together and called it a day. And then somebody also asked, how do you pair together items and not make it look so catalog-ish? How do we give architectural digest? I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I mean this with love. Stop buying them damn furniture sets. Literally the only furniture set I have in this house is from IKEA. And the only reason I have those is because I bought it in my apartment, and I'm not getting rid of furniture that doesn't treat me badly. Mixed materials. Stop buying furniture sets. If you see a furniture set in a store, don't even look at it. You can buy one thing in there. Like, for example, I have the mom bed, and when I was in my apartment, I didn't really know my interior design style. That's why I never decorated my apartment when I lived there. That's what I wanted because it was cheap, and like, that's fine. But if you don't want your stuff to look so catalog-ish and give a little bit more architectural digest, stop buying them damn furniture sets. Please. Good places to find cool pieces that don't cost an arm and a leg: in store or online, Facebook Market, and vintage stores. It don't gotta be a thrift store. Thrift stores are hit or miss. Vintage stores. Don't sleep on old books, old tech from eBay, old magazines, old vinyls that are like $5 from your local vinyl store. How do you find a style that fits your home? Asking for a brand new homeowner at 22. Congratulations, first and foremost. Welcome to the club. Homeowner in our 20s club. It's stressful, but we got it. Figure out what style your house is built in, and then try to play with that. I think a good example of how you play with things like that is when people get those millennial gray apartments, but they really jazz it up and make it homey because they know how to put pieces together. You can kind of decorate your house however you want despite how your home was built. But I think if you have no clue, I would look at the style of your home, so like I said before, and then figure out how you want it to feel. It's a little bit harder to mix styles of a build and then furniture, but it's definitely possible. I was able to answer a few of your design questions. I'm very curious to hear any other questions you may have for me in terms of interior design style, because I am somebody who's just in their 20s. I am still figuring this out like most of you. I will answer any questions that I can. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so I can see you on the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next Homeowner Diaries episode. If you guys like this video, I really think you'll like this one because it's very similar to this one. And if you just want to go on a complete binge to see my homeowner journey, I have a whole playlist on this channel, me owning a house and showing you my house transformation over the past 2 years. It's crazy. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye everyone.